so yeah, this computer stuff, it's in the beginning I was completely overwhelmed. I didn't know what to do, Telegram and Messenger and whatever else, WhatsApp, and now all of a Google Docs and Google Mail and Google this and Google that. I had no idea. So, I knew what WhatsApp was, and I didn't know Telegram, but anyway. So that was a big learning curve for me, and also all this information that was being thrown at me, I had to read this, I had to read that, I had to watch this video, I was like, oh my goodness gracious. So that was a real challenge for me, I have to say, and actually the exercises, that was the cherry on top. That was the easy part for me. Anyway, but yeah, it's yeah, so it's good. So, I made a few notes here. Yeah, so I had done some exercising, in years past on my own, and I had joined curves at one point, and then I fell off a ladder and had to stop that. Anyway, so off and on, I had been doing some exercise, and I always made sure that I walked every day. So in that respect, it was pretty good. But the last 5 years or so, I had started having problems with my hip, and anyway, long story short, and I came across Nancy, and so we decided to do this program. And about a few weeks into the program, I broke my femur. So that was great timing, and so I ended up in the hospital, obviously, and they did surgery and all that stuff. And
hold on, Esther. I just want to say, it's not because of the program. It's not because of 10X, okay?
No,
she fell and slipped, right?
No, like it's snowing and it's raining, and it's snowing and it's raining and it's snowing and
Newfoundland,
yes. Again. So I went for a walk in my street, and I had nothing to do with that. Jesus. Anyway, so I fell in my street, and Nancy, she was. I got more messages from her when I was in the hospital than from anybody else. She really cares. And it was so important to me to have that. Coming a little bit emotional now. Anyway, fast forward 6 months later, I have to say that the surgery helped me with my hip problems. It was meant to happen, I guess. And so then I was ready to start up again with Nancy. So we did. And it has been amazing. And I feel, before I would go for a walk, and I would walk for 20 minutes, and that was it. I couldn't really do it very much more. Now I walk for, as Mary was saying, first thing in the morning, I go for my 20-minute walk, and I sit on a bench overlooking a nice lake here, and I meditate, and I go back home and have my breakfast. And then later on in the day, I go for another walk for an hour or longer sometimes, and no problem, right? No problem whatsoever. So, and I feel so much stronger. And when I walk, it's not like I used to be like this a little bit, but now I feel really upright, and I feel strong, and there's a bounce in my step now. So it feels really, really good. And the other thing that I had no idea what she was going to do with me is the food intake. Now, I've always been very careful of eating the right thing, and I thought I was eating the right things, but no. Well, I am in a way. But I was eating too much in the way of carbohydrates. And so she made me really realize that, and I was really resistant to changing that. So you don't tell me what to eat, I know what I want. Anyway, so, but Nancy is, she pushes you without being pushy. And that's a real, absolutely. I don't like being pushed around. But she somehow or other did it. And it's really hard to change habits, of course, as we all know, but she managed to do it. And I managed to change a few habits that I had. And so I'm eating much more healthily now. And I feel so much better. And I feel like I'm going to go to Europe in a few months, and I'm going to travel, and I'm going to have a little backpack on my back, and I feel like I can do that now. Whereas before, you know, yeah, I would go to, well, I am European, as you can probably hear. So my daughter lives in Ireland. I grew up in Amsterdam, but anyway, she lives in Ireland. So, so I'm going to visit her again. And this time I visited her last, like a year and a half ago, and I couldn't go very far. You know, it was always, you know, after 20 minutes or so, I had to sit down. And anyway, but now I can go anywhere with her, you know. So it's really changed my quality of life. And I feel that I can do a lot more things. And I'm looking forward to the rest of my life now. You know, before I was like, what am I going to do now? I don't know. And about 3 years ago, well, when COVID hit, I was forced to retire because I was a private music teacher and also a substitute teacher. And I thought, well, that's it. You know, I couldn't teach anymore. And I decided to retire because I was of retirement age anyway. So, and then a year after that, my partner passed away. So I was, here we go again. I was in a very bad spot, and then I broke my femur. So, and it's been a roller coaster 3 years. But you know, I feel like, yeah, there's life after all this, right? And I'll be okay. And anyway, so and now this week I started the Finesse program. So I finished up 10X and well, finished in a way, but I'm still doing it, of course. And now I started the 10X Finesse program because I want to be as healthy physically as I can possibly be. So and Nancy is such a wonderful teacher that it's going to be a blast, and I'm going to be in great shape.